a major priority for the Cubans and the Russians to infiltrate some aspect of U.S. intelligence. Multiple moles were caught in the years following. So it's not surprising that there would be a priority for that. But to say that the organization of CIA was somehow in cahoots to independently assassinate their own executive, that's a significant stretch. I've seen no evidence to support that, and it goes contrary to everything I learned from my time at CIA.
Well, let me ask you, do you think CIA played a part in enabling drug cartels and drug trafficking, which is another big kind of shadow that hangs over the CIA?
At the beginning of the drug war, I would imagine the answer is yes. CIA has its own counter-narcotics division, a division that's dedicated to fighting and preventing narcotics from coming into the United States. So when you paint a picture for me, like, do you think the CIA was complicit in helping drug trafficking or drug use? When I say yes, my exception is I don't think they did that for Americans inside the United States. If the CIA can basically set it up so that two different drug cartels shoot each other by assisting in the transaction of a sale to a third country and then leaking that sale happened to a competing cartel, that's just letting cartels do what they do. That's them doing the dirty work for us. So especially at the beginning of the drug war, I think there was tons of space, lots of room for CIA to get involved in the economics of drugs and then let the inevitable happen. And that was way more efficient, way more productive than us trying to send our own troops in to kill a bunch of cartel warlords. So that makes a ton of sense to me. It just seems efficient. It seems very practical. I do not believe that CIA would I don't think all the accusations out there about how they would buy drugs and sell drugs and somehow make money on the side from it. That's not how it works.
So do you think there's on that point, a connection between Barry Seal, the great governor, and then President Bill Clinton, Oliver North, and Vice President, former CIA Director George H.W. Bush, and a little town with a little airport called Mena, Arkansas?
So I am out of my element now. This is one I haven't heard many details about.
Okay. So your sense is any of the drug trafficking has to do with criminal operations outside the United States and the CIA just leveraging that to achieve its ends, but nothing to do with American citizens and American politicians.
With American citizens, again, speaking organizationally. So that would be my sense, yes.
Let me ask you about, so back to Operation Northwoods, because it's such a powerful tool, sadly powerful tool used by dictators throughout history, the false flag operation. So I think and you said the terrorist attacks in 9/11 were changed a lot for us, for the United States, for Americans. It changed the way we see the world. It woke us up to the harshness of the world. I think there's, to my eyes at least, there's nothing that shows evidence that 9/11 was a, quote, inside job. But is the CIA or the intelligence agencies or the U.S. government capable of something like that? I mean, that's the question.
I get
so
it, yeah.
There's a bunch of shadiness about how it was reported on. I just can't. That's the thing I struggle with. While there's no evidence that there was an inside job, it raises the question to me, well, could something like this be an inside job? Because it sure as heck, now looking back 20 years, the amount of money that was spent on these wars, the military-industrial complex, the amount of interest in terms of power and money involved, organizationally, can something like that happen?
You know Occam's razor. So the Harem's razor is that you can never prescribe to conspiracy what could be explained through incompetence.
Yeah.
Right? That is those are two fundamental guidelines that we follow all the time, right? The simplest answer is oftentimes the best, and never prescribe to conspiracy what can be explained through incompetence.
Can you elaborate what you mean by we?
We as
beings?
as intelligence professionals.
So you think there's a deep truth to that that second razor?
There is more than a deep truth. There's ages of experience for me and for others. And
so in general, people are incompetent. If left to their own means, they're more incompetent than they are malevolent at a large organizational scale.
People are more incompetent of executing a conspiracy than they are of competently executing a conspiracy. That's really what it means, is that it's so difficult to carry out a complex lie that most people don't have the competency to do it. So it doesn't make any sense to lead thinking of conspiracy. It makes more sense to lead assuming incompetence. When you look at all of the outcomes, all the findings from 9/11, it speaks to incompetence. It speaks brashly and openly to incompetence, and nobody likes talking about it. FBI and CIA to this day hate hearing about it. The 9/11 Commission is going to go down in history as this painful example of the incompetence of the American intelligence community. And it's going to come back again and again. Every time there's an intel flap, it's going to come back again and again. What are you seeing even right now? We miss the U.S. intelligence infrastructure, misjudged Afghanistan, misjudged Hong Kong, misjudged Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Those were 3 massive misjudgments in a few years.
It's just embarrassing to the...
It's just embarrassing. Exactly right.
So all the sort of cover-up looking things around 9/11 is just people being embarrassed by their failures.
If they're taking steps to cover anything up, it's just their own... It's a painful reminder of their lack of competency at the time. Now, I understand that conspiracy theorists want to take inklings of information and put them together in a way that is the most damning, but that goes back to our point about overvaluing losses and undervaluing gains. It's just predictable human behavior.
Let me ask you about this because it comes up often. So I'm from MIT, and there's a guy by the name of Jeffrey Epstein that still troubles me to this day, that some of the people I respect were interacted with this individual and fell into his influence, charm, charisma, whatever the hell he used to delude these people. He did so successfully. I'm very open-minded about this thing. I would love to learn more, but a lot of people tell me, a lot of people I respect, that there's intelligence agencies behind this individual. So they were using Jeffrey Epstein for getting access to powerful people and then to control and manipulate those powerful people. The CIA, I believe, is not brought up as often as Mossad. And so this goes back to the original aspect of our conversation, is how much each individual intelligence agencies is willing to go to control, to manipulate, to achieve its means. Do you think can you educate me if, obviously you don't know, but you can bet, what are the chances the intelligence agencies are involved with the character of Jeffrey Epstein?
In some way, shape, or form with the character of Epstein, it's 100% guaranteed that some intelligence organization was involved. But let's talk about why. Let's talk about why, okay?
Yep.
There's multiple types of intelligence assets. Just like we were talking earlier. There's foreign intelligence reporting assets. There's access agents. And then there's agents of influence. 3 different categories of intelligence, right? One is when you talk about foreign intelligence reporters, these are people who have access to secrets, and their job is to give you their secrets in exchange for gold or money or alcohol or prostitution or whatever else, right? Their job is to give you secrets, and then you pay them for the secrets. Access agents, their job is to give you physical access or digital access to something of interest to you. So maybe they're the ones that open a door that should have been locked and let you come in and stick your thumb drive in the computer.
Yes.
Or maybe they're the ones that share a phone number with somebody, and then they're just like, just don't tell them you got the phone number from me. Their job is to give you access. Then you have these agents of influence. An agent of influence's job is to be part of your effort to influence the outcomes in some way that benefits your intelligence requirements, right? Of these 3 types of people, the least scrupulous And the most shady is your agent of influence. Because your agent of influence understands exactly what they're doing. They know they're working with one guy, and they know they're using the influence to manipulate some other guy. When it comes to powerful people, especially wealthy, powerful people, the only thing that interests them is power. Money is not a challenge anymore. Prestige, notoriety, none of those things are a challenge. The rest of us, we're busy trying to make money. We're busy trying to build a reputation. We're busy trying to build a career, keep a family afloat. At the highest levels, they're bored. They don't need any of that. The only thing that they care about is being able to wield power. So a character like Jeffrey Epstein is exactly the kind of character that the Chinese would want, the Russians would want, Mossad would want, the French would want. It's too easy because the man had access to a wide range of American influential people for corporate espionage uses, for economic espionage uses, for national security espionage uses. It doesn't make any sense that a person like that wouldn't be targeted. It doesn't.
So the question is
who,
and whether I think the really important distinction here is, was Jeffrey Epstein created, or once he's achieved and built his network, was he then infiltrated? And that's a really sort of important difference. Like, at which stage do you connect a person like that? You start to notice